A lot of sacrifices over the years to homeschool all of us, and I'm very, very blessed for having parents who are willing and able to do that, as not many people do. And so that meant my mom staying home and being a stay-at-home mom to give us the schooling and the education that she thought we deserved. And throughout the years, she was all about letting each of us be different. Between the 7 of us, we are very, very different. None of us are the same. And she was very accepting of that. Both of my parents were. And I think that was most important in letting me grow, that they let me grow at my own pace, do the things that I love to do, and develop that confidence in myself, so that I would start doing those things that I love to do and find what I was meant for and what I was made to do. And so that has been this whole growing and learning process. They have encouraged me every step of the way. So many other people have as well. And I attribute a large part of that to homeschooling, because that enabled me to find the unique qualities about myself that I didn't have to try to act like other kids my age. I wasn't pressured by other people, and I was able to grow and learn at my own pace for quite a while. And then when I was ready, my last 2 years of high school, I wanted to experience public school, and it was fun. It was a great time. It was a very positive experience. And so that was all about the flexibility for me, and between all of us kids, we have all handled our education in different ways. At this point, only my youngest brother is being homeschooled. One is at CCS, and my sister is at Scottsbluff High School. There's 2 in college. We're all over the place now, but that's what it's all about, is tailoring your education to a child's specific needs and letting them have that flexibility, because every child is different. And so it's so important to encourage those differences and let them grow and develop their unique personality. And I certainly think that's why I'm where I am today, because I was able to do that and find those things that I love to do. And right now I'm loving what I do. I'm loving every minute. And when you do that, you have all the confidence in the world, and you continue to not let fear hold you back from each step in your life. So I certainly hope that is the case for the rest of my life.
What do you plan on asking President Obama when you meet him?
I'm not sure, actually. We'll see what the important issues are in October. It may be a very different story then, so we'll see. But I think at that point, I'm not sure that we will have a debate or anything like that. So we'll be meeting him with the children from the children's hospitals, and so it will be all about them and the cause of Children's Miracle Network hospitals. And so that is what I'm trying to promote at that point. So I'm really looking forward to it, because it's going to be a huge landmark experience in their lives as well. And so I just want to be there to make that even more special for them.
Will you give him an autograph?
I certainly will if he asks. We'll see.
I drove out from Lincoln, and I have 3 daughters, and rarely when I tell them I'm going to an assignment do they show any interest in it at all. But this one they did, not surprisingly. But it made me think about, you know, you're now in a position to be a role model to young women, and I know that you've chosen the eating disorders as your platform. Could you talk a little bit about why that's an important issue to you?
Yes, absolutely. As I said, as I was being homeschooled, I didn't really have to deal with the pressure of trying to be someone else and trying to look like someone else. And when I was 13, one of my friends was bulimic, and she was only 13 at the time as well, and we did not know what was going on. We didn't understand what it was. And so that's when I started to find more information and research it, to find out what was going on. And at that point, the thing that hit me most was that it could kill her. And so many people right now do not understand that eating disorders are deadly. The mortality rate is 20%, which is huge, higher than any other mental illness, and more women suffer from eating disorders than suffer from breast cancer. And yet this is an issue that we continue to hide away, ignore, and not address. And when we have boys and girls, teenage boys and girls, dying every day because of eating disorders that are 100% preventable, we can't afford to continue losing children to eating disorders when we can simply start addressing the issue, start preventing it, start seeking help before it's too late, because treatment is available and recovery is possible. And this week, actually, the 20th to the 26th, is National Eating Disorders Awareness Week. So I'm very glad to be crossing my state, spreading that message. And the wristband that I wear 24/7 is from ANAD.org, which is a great resource for eating disorders awareness. It says accept yourself, accept others, because that is the message that I'm trying to spread this year as Miss America. And I'm so privileged to have this opportunity to do that, because I reach so many boys and girls, men and women. Eating disorders do not address a specific gender or a specific age group. They are across the board. They do not discriminate. They affect everyone. And whether or not you know someone with an eating disorder, everything you do and say affects someone in a very specific way. And many times adults don't realize that. And I found that more and more, even with myself, that sometimes I don't pay attention to the things that I say and the attitude that I have. And people around me will see that, because everybody is watching you all the time and you're an example to people. And when they see you obsessed with image and body size, above all else, an exterior appearance, then that only continues society's trend to focus on image. And so I continually try to stress finding those things that you love to do, that you're talented in, that you have been made to do, because that is when you will be confident in yourself, not when you're trying to make yourself look a certain way. No one is perfect, everybody is different, and yet as a society we continually try to reach perfection rather than embracing differences. And especially with young children, I found that so important. In high school, when I attended high school, I saw that more and more, that there are teenage boys and girls that simply do not understand differences in each other, make fun of each other for looking differently. Just because someone is not the same size as them, they feel they shouldn't be accepted. And I find that so sad, because that is where the development of eating disorders starts, is with those attitudes. And so when we can finally learn to accept ourselves just the way we are, then that shows to others. And as we start to accept other people and embrace those differences, then people can become more confident and live the life that they were meant to live without worrying about how they look, because it really does affect your life. The statistics right now show that over 50% of teenagers would rather be hit by a bus than be fat. Do you realize that half of our teenagers out there would rather almost be killed by a bus than simply be called what is fat? It's ridiculous that it has gone to that extreme. 81% of 10-year-olds are afraid of being fat. 10-year-olds that should be outside playing and having a great time, not worrying about those things, are afraid of how their bodies look, have an intense fear of being fat. It's absolutely sad. It's an issue that we must address. I'm very looking forward to continuing to address groups of people on this issue, because it is huge, and it's not just this year. The rest of my life I will be dedicated to promoting this cause, because it will never be gone, but we must do what we can to raise greater awareness of it and start changing the attitudes that surround it.